Hi guys, my name is Marissa, also known as Homemaking with Marissa. In today's video, I am going to take you through an entire day of what my children eat. For those of you that are new and have never watched one of my videos before, I have 3 children. I have a 3-year-old, a 7-year-old, and a 16-year-old. My kids, for the most part, eat the same meals, but there is some slight variation in what time certain children prefer to eat. So I will take you through all 3 of their meals and any snacks that I make throughout the day. And if you're new and haven't done so already, please go ahead and hit the red subscribe button and join my little YouTube community. Breakfast is always a very quick and easy meal during the week. I am filming this on a Wednesday. We are going to have some of this organic dairy-free cashew milk yogurt in vanilla bean. I have discussed before, I have one child who's very sensitive to dairy. Oh, he couldn't have like a regular dairy yogurt. So I bought this as a nice dairy-free alternative. We have a very few number of strawberries left. I will top the yogurt with the strawberries. These containers come off of Amazon and they do a really good job of keeping your produce fresh. If I can find them, they come in and out of stock pretty regularly, but if I can find them, I will include a link to these. It comes in a 3-pack of 3 different sizes. I use it for grapes, I use it for carrots. I get a lot of use out of these and have noticed that it definitely increases the longevity of my fruit. With the yogurt and strawberries, I'm going to give each child a bar. My oldest son doesn't really eat breakfast, so normally I make him eggs mid-morning. He's not ever interested in eating really early in the morning. For my 3-year-old, he likes these Larabar Kids in the chocolate brownie flavor. And my 7-year-old likes the regular Larabars in the mint chip brownie. This is his absolute favorite flavor of Larabar. All right, my house is very loud, but this is what their plates look like. And my 3-year-old requested applesauce as well. I'm going to just include these little applesauce pouches on their plates. We're also keeping the yogurt and the strawberries separate. My kids always use these fork, knife, and spoon combination. I order these off of Amazon and we'll also link these in the description box down below. The kids ate everything for breakfast except for both of them did not take a single bite of their yogurt. I think what I'm going to do so that we're not wasting this yogurt's pretty expensive, so I don't want to just waste something that they haven't eaten any of. I'm going to take this and put it into a smoothie for a snack for them this afternoon. For the kids' first snack, they are going to just have some of these pretzel sticks and the chocolate from their advent calendar. I am filming this video about 2 weeks before Christmas, and they have really been enjoying getting this little piece of chocolate every single day. These pretzels, they prefer, my kids are so funny about pretzels. They like them when they're in the mini pretzel shape more than the sticks, but we don't have the minis, so they are just eating a bowl of the pretzel sticks. The next snack is going to just be a whole apple. My kids eat at least 1 apple every single day. This is totally unrelated to what the kids eat in a day, but this is the craft that they did today. I think that these are so cute. My first grader was sent this home as a project that he was doing with his class. And when my preschool age child saw it, he wanted me to cut out a mitten for him to decorate. I think that these are just absolutely adorable. This is also a way that I help keep the preschooler entertained when his older brother is doing virtual learning. If my elementary school student is doing some sort of fun little art project like this, I will try to create something similar for my preschooler to be able to do it. They have a little table that they do their schoolwork at. I will just set him up at his own seat at the table and he can do it along with him. It's not distracting because, this is just something that's meant to be fun that my elementary school son is doing with his school. But my preschooler loves when he can be involved in these little arts and craft projects. It is a little after 10:30 and I am getting ready to make my oldest son breakfast. He eats eggs a lot of mornings, and I am going to fry up 3 of these organic pasture-raised eggs. He likes them really simple. I'm just going to put them in olive oil and season them with some salt and pepper. Here it is, just 3 eggs cooked up with some salt and pepper. I let them start to fry in the pan, and then I crack the yolks and mix them up, which is why they don't look exactly like normal scrambled eggs, but this is the way that he likes them. I brought him his eggs and he asked for a couple slices of toast. We use the Dave's Killer Bread in the white done right and Kerrygold butter. And there is 2 pieces of toast. I am making homemade bread for lunch, but we do keep store-bought bread on hand. When I make homemade bread, it goes very quickly. I always have backup, just regular store-bought sliced bread. I forgot to tell you what I had put into the smoothie. I always freeze leftover spinach and stick it into smoothies. My kids are like most children and do not want to eat greens in their raw form, but if I blend it up in a smoothie, they don't even know that it's there. I have to talk quietly because one of my kids, if he finds out that I put this in there, is not going to want to drink it. So we have a handful of baby spinach, chia seeds, almond milk. I dumped in the yogurt from breakfast. Normally I use banana to sweeten their smoothies, but I don't have any banana, so I just put in a little bit of raw honey. And then this organic berry burst blend. This comes from Costco. It has strawberries, blueberries, blackberries, and raspberries. Costco is absolutely the most affordable place to buy organic frozen berries. I do not like to use fresh berries in smoothies because organic fresh berries are pretty expensive, and if you're just going to blend them up, I always, when available, opt for frozen berries. And I use my Vitamix to blend it up. Vitamix are expensive. I have found, though, it is the best blender that I have ever had for making smoothies. I use this regularly and have had it for several years. It was definitely an investment initially, but in my opinion, if a Vitamix is something within your budget, I do think that it's worth the money. And here's what it looks like when it is all blended up. I've also spoken about these cups before. They are the Contigo brand. I order these off of Amazon. What I like about them is there is no pulling out the straw. And they also don't leak, which is great with something that is such a deep purple like this. It would definitely stain if my kids got it onto their clothing or onto our furniture. These are a little bit pricey. I get them off of Amazon. They do come in a 3-pack, which is nice if you have multiple children, and they are dishwasher safe. I also want to address this topic because this is one of the things in the comments that just kind of annoys me, so I'm gonna bring it up. I feel like I get into this slightly defensive mode anytime I talk about a product that I own, because a lot of my content is about having a budget and frugality and preparing meals that have a limited number of ingredients or are budget friendly, and I find that that is how a lot of people find my channel, and then they get really upset when I share things that are expensive. And you don't have to comment in and let me know how ridiculous you think the price of my vacuum or my blender or my coffee pot are. I bought them. I know how expensive they are, and I don't want to continue to have to say before every item, now this is expensive, as like a defense mechanism so that people don't attack me. I don't need DMs on Instagram of how stupid you think I am because of how much I spent on a blender. I just wanted to address that. Back to the meals. Here is the next snack, these Vermont brand pepperoni sticks. I also get the Chomps brand. These came from Kroger, and Kroger I don't think carries Chomp, but these have pretty good ingredients in them. They don't have a huge list of ingredients like some pepperoni sticks do. And this is another snack that the kids like to have most days. For lunch, I am going to make some hot turkey sandwiches. I have talked about this Oscar Mayer Natural lunch meat before. It has pretty good ingredients for a affordable brand of lunch meat. I am going to put it into a skillet with some of this au jus gravy. I'm going to slice up some sweet mini peppers, onion. I'll saute everything in avocado oil. And then I made a loaf of homemade bread that I will slice up for our sandwiches. Here's what you're looking for. I ended up using 5 of the little peppers. I don't worry about removing the seeds. These are not spicy even with the seeds in. And then I took the onion and tried to slice that thin as well. See, it's just little slices. Now we're going to add the avocado oil to the pan and saute up these vegetables. Gonna end up being a little bit vlog style. I talk about my 10-item wardrobe on my channel pretty regularly. This is how I keep white clothes clean with 3 children, and when I spend a vast majority of the day cooking and cleaning around the house, I try to be very disciplined about putting on an apron to protect my white clothing from spills or splatters. And when I'm cooking, I try to remember to pull up my sleeves. I don't always remember to do that, but I try to pull up my sleeves so that I don't get any splatter when I'm cooking on the sleeves of my white or cream colored tops. I posted a goals video that, it's going up before this video. So it's already up on my channel where I was talking about my goals for 2020. And one of my goals was to be more disciplined about spending one-on-one quality time with each child. Today, I was focusing on my 3-year-old while the older boys were in their Zoom calls. We made some homemade Chex Mix. This is different than the recipe that I already showed of the sweet Chex Mix. This is just what comes on the side of the box of cereal, and I had all the ingredients, and he wanted to make Christmas candy, he said, so we just whipped up this batch of Chex Mix. If you're new, I don't film my children on my channel, and it wouldn't really be very special one-on-one time if I was fiddling with a camera. I didn't want to be more focused on whether or not we were in frame and showing exactly how to make this. It's literally on the side of the box of Chex Mix. But the kids have been told that they can have this after dinner if they eat their dinner tonight. So we are going to save this. I just made a half batch of what's on the side. The other thing that we did for his special time was to read this book. Both of my kids, I didn't have this book with my oldest son, but both of my little kids have absolutely loved this book when they're toddlers. It is a hide and seek book. So, find a page here. So they figure out where all the pairs to these items go, and then they search for the bear and a coordinating toy for each bear. My 3-year-old wears glasses, and it's so cute. At the end of the book, it says to look for the dad's glasses, and he always takes off his little glasses and puts them in the spot where the dad's glasses are. It's just the most precious thing. This book, though, I think that there's a couple of them. Maybe it's a series. We just got this at Borders, Barnes and Noble. Which one shut down? Whichever one didn't go out of business is where we got this book. Yeah, it doesn't say. The other thing that I want to cover is what the kids drink in a day. My kids only drink water, with the exception of like very special occasion. Well, and they had smoothies, but I don't give them juice. I think my 16-year-old is the only one who's ever had any sort of soda. I don't think that my 7-year-old has ever had soda. Maybe somebody else gave it to him, but I've never given him soda. They just drink water, and they each have these little water bottles that I fill up. I think these are 12-ounce water bottles, and I fill them up at least 3 times a day. My kids drink a ton of water, and for whatever reason, they really like these water bottles. These are Hydro Flask water bottles, and when you fill them up with ice, it keeps the ice in cube form for a really long time. If I put ice cubes in this at night and they take these to bed with them, in the morning it will still have ice cubes in it. So they don't have ice in them currently, but they love that it stays as solid ice cubes for the whole day. This is what they drink. They are currently, it's about 2:20 in the afternoon, and they may want something to eat again before dinner, but a lot of times they eat a lot early in the day, and then they really slow down later in the day. In the afternoon, when they have quiet time, so once school is done, we have an hour of quiet time. None of my kids nap anymore, but we do have a period of time where they can watch a movie, they can look at books, they can play on a tablet. They just have to stay either in their bed or in my bed, wherever they want to be, and be quiet for at least an hour. During that period of time, I try to do some sort of personal self-care. Today, I am painting my toenails in this red, Gia is the color. This is a Zoya polish. I have talked a lot of times about the Zoya polishes. I absolutely love them. And I am drinking a cup of tea. This is something that I have tried to integrate into my afternoon routine. I used to drink coffee most of the day and found that I was really having a hard time sleeping and being really wired by drinking coffee that late in the day. I tried to switch to tea, and this tea set was my great-grandmother's. She passed away about 10 years ago, but I inherited this entire set of china, and for years it just sat in a hutch, and I only pulled it out on Christmas Eve. And every Christmas Eve we would have our traditional Christmas Eve dinner and use her china. I've just decided this year that there's no reason to leave it sitting in this china hutch except for one day out of the year. She used it regularly. I have memories of her using it regularly, so I'm going to use it regularly. Now, this is not something that, I'm not going to give the kids this. This is bone china, it's super fragile. I'm not going to give this to the kids on a regular basis, but I have started drinking my tea in her teacups in the afternoon. And that might seem like a weird thing for self-care, but I absolutely love it. It reminds me of her. I absolutely adored her. She was the absolute coolest grandmother, and it just makes me think about her every day. And I think that she would really love the fact that I am using this and I'm regularly using it, and I'm trying to appreciate it as much as she did. This was probably her most prized possession, was this china set. And I think that she would just absolutely adore the fact that I am still using it and appreciating it as much as she did. I'm gonna go sit down, paint my toenails, and drink some tea. If the kids end up having an afternoon snack, I will let you know. This is the specific tea that I'm drinking. So there is still some caffeine in it, but I find that the caffeine in tea does not affect me the same way that the caffeine does from coffee, which is why I'm trying to switch to drinking tea in the afternoon. This just came in this variety pack. I ordered it off of Amazon. I've already drank quite a few of the teas. Sometimes tea sets can be really, really expensive. I think that this was maybe around $12 and has 48 tea bags in it. So I thought that for that many bags of tea and getting an assortment like this, it was a pretty good deal. To brew my coffee, I have a tea option. This is a completely different filter. So this is what you use for the coffee, but you can take that out and put it in the tea filter. You stick your tea bag, or there is a way to put loose leaf tea in. This little tiny pitcher is meant for cream. It came from IKEA. And when I brew this size, it fits perfectly into this little container. And I pick the classic strength and black tea. Oh, and then it just brews. I think it takes around 5 minutes to brew this little pot. And then I am using my little tea cup and saucer. I also forgot to say, my little kids ate half of a sandwich. My 16-year-old ate a full sandwich. My teenage son is not a big snacker. He doesn't snack throughout the day like the other kids do. He is more inclined to eat 3 solid meals, and sometimes he will snack in the evening, but he is not. The younger kids snack earlier in the day. My older son, if he's going to snack, which is not always the case, it would be later in the day, which is why it might seem like little kids are eating a ton and my teenage son's hardly eating anything. That's just, I try to adhere to what they appreciate and their eating style and not dictate that it's mealtime, and therefore, now obviously when we're sitting down for dinner, that's just when dinner's being served. But if I have a child that's not hungry really early in the morning, I'm not gonna force him to eat until he's hungry. I want him to learn to listen to his body and eat when he's hungry. And the same goes for the little kids. For dinner, I'm not gonna show how to make this because it's really super simple. We are just having some broccoli. I took a broccoli head that was about to go bad, chopped it up and froze it. I'm going to stick this on a sheet pan in the oven with some olive oil, salt, and pepper, cook it at 425 for about 25 minutes. Just making 2 boxes of this long grain wild rice. My kids and husband are obsessed with wild rice. And then we have a huge chunk of elk. I'm just going to cut this into steaks and pan fry it with some salt and pepper. I will show you what the kids' plates look like once I have dished them up. And because the kids ate their dinner, they've never had elk steak before. That was new for them, and they were really good about trying it. I'm going to give them just a handful of this Chex Mix that we made earlier, stick it in a little bowl, and that will be the final thing they eat today. Thank you all for watching today. If you're new and haven't done so already, you can subscribe to my channel by clicking on my face here. I will have an entire playlist full of kids' meal ideas here, as well as an additional video for you here. I hope that you are all staying happy and healthy. Bye.